Today we're day 86 of my daily faith pill. Today we are Friday, March 27th. The title, The Power of Dominion Over Fears and Enemies. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. This is Psalm chapter 23, verse 4. In my cultural context, including regions of Africa where faith traditions are strong, there is a prevailing mindset to pray aggressively against adversaries, asking God to kill, destroy, or eliminate our enemies. However, when we examine the biblical mandate, we find that God's desire for us is not destruction, but dominion. Dominion is a state of being where your adversaries reach a clear awareness that they are powerless against you. This is not about making them vanish. It is about them observing your ascent while realizing their inability to impede it. They might see you striving, rising, prospering, and increasing, yet they are forced to acknowledge that they cannot alter your trajectory. That is the definition of true dominion. Consider the analogy of a global power such as the US. It can impose embargoes or issue decrees that other nations might resent, but those nations must ultimately comply because they lack the power to resist. This compliance in the face of overwhelming authority mirrors the spiritual dominion granted to believers. The scripture powerfully illustrates this reality by declaring that God prepares a table for you right in the presence of your enemies. They will be seated there, watching you partake in every blessing, perhaps even salivating over what they see, but utterly incapable of interfering. Furthermore, we are told that we are seated in heavenly places far above all principalities and powers. This spiritual positioning renders us untouchable. They cannot affect us because they cannot reach us. There is perhaps no frustration or pain more acute than having to watch someone you actively dislike continue to flourish. This state of sustained visible prosperity in the face of opposition is often far more impactful than their non-existence. Therefore, instead of dedicating our energy to wishing for the demise of those people who oppose us, we must align ourselves with the inheritance Christ has secured for us, dominion. This assurance eradicates the need for fear. Psalm 23 assures us, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." He leads us beside still waters, restores our souls, and guides us in path of righteousness. Crucially, even when we must walk through the valley of the shadow of death, through darkness, confusion, pain, or adversity, we are commanded not to be afraid. Why? Because the Lord is with us. His rod and his staff provide comfort and security. That psalm confirms the reality of our protected status. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have no legitimate reason to fear any opposition this week. Whether someone has vowed to stop you, frustrate your efforts, or pull you down, simply recognize their position relative to yours and smile. God has prepared your feast in their sight. They are relegated to the role of unwilling spectators. They cannot stop your rise. They cannot successfully limit your progress. They must watch as you keep ascending and remain silent because the Lord is your shepherd, sustainer, and promoter. Settle this truth in your heart today. You are unstoppable. You are lifted up, seated far above every opposing force. You shall fear no evil, for you know that God is actively for you. If God stands in defense of you, who or what can possibly stand against you? Step out today knowing that God backs you, he sees you, he loves you immensely, and has secured your victory. You are God-backed. Man, Psalms is great for anyone who is unsure of the power of God and what that power does for us. Psalms is a great book. I think it's 150 Psalms. It's the longest book in the Bible. And man, it's fantastic. David really was killing it when he was writing that. Preparing a table amidst your enemies is a very strong statement to have that only Jehovah can say to us. Or can assure us, I would say, because it's actually David that said it to us. And it just goes to show that the God that we serve knows no bounds. His power is limitless. He stands outside of time. He knew us before we knew that we were ever going to exist or anyone else did. That confidence that David had is the confidence that we need to have about the same God that we serve. So it's the end of the week. Think of one thing that has been kind of stressing you and go into it with the word that I just read today from Psalms 23, verse 4. And just, you know what I'm saying? Say these words. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. You prepare a table in the presence of my enemies. Stay blessed.